Hello Yodatech, this is Chef Yoda 4x4, and I am attempting to figure out why I failed smog on the NOx section at 25 miles an hour. I was wrong, it's actually not 15 miles an hour. That one actually passed the 25 mile an hour test. Which some of you might be asking, what the hell is that? In California you go on a dyno and spin the wheels, and he holds it in second gear at certain RPM, going 25 miles an hour. I believe it's 1500 RPM, which is, I guess, quite a load, and that's where I failed the NOx. So I've been pointed by Scope, thank you very much, and anyone else in the EGR field, in the emissions field, I appreciate your help. I've been pointed towards it's usually high NOx is almost always in the EGR system. So first thing I thought is just to double check all my routing and make sure that it's proper, and most should have a diagram here showing you where all the routing goes, etc. So I'll start with the most difficult one to point out here, the BVSV, which is right here. Should be able to see that. These two hoses coming out go directly into the very first two horizontally traveling lines coming out of the hard vacuum rail that bolts into the intake. So they are just basically going directly into the BVSV, just as they look right there. Top one on the top, bottom one on the bottom. I believe I tested that before, and it seemed to have passed, so I'll get into that later. The left port, which is P on my throttle body, is going to the charcoal canister right here. The center port, which is R on the throttle body, is going to the very first vertically facing vacuum port off the rail. The furthest to the right is going to the second vertically facing one on the rail, and there's only two vertically facing ones on the front. Towards the back, everything comes out the other end. The first two are basically the trying to read here, R and E ports on here. This is R, this is E. The first two come out first, the other end of the vacuum, the hard rail. The first one on this rail that's coming out, I have going to P right here. The second one is going to R. The third one, there's four. Third one right here is coming out and going, kind of cutting back into Q, into the modulator. And the last one is going directly into the EGR. I'm fairly sure that's right. We shall see. And then underneath the modulator, there's a large hose right here that actually goes right into the side pipe, or the little T-pipe that comes off of the EGR. So that is in the right place down there. I'm not sure if you can see it. And I know the booster's off. I removed it just to get it out of the way. I actually removed the modulator earlier. The one that I found another one that I have, and I'll just do a little demonstration really quick. I found another port modulator here that I got out of a pickup. It had really low miles, but that doesn't mean it's good, right? And so I pumped 4 inches of vacuum into the bottom here, and I will do it again. Okay, pumped 4 inches of vacuum into this one, and it appears to drop off fairly quickly, like an inch every couple seconds. So this is on tightly, as far as I can tell. I can't imagine that would leak any. And it's still dropping a little bit. And when I checked the one that's on the vehicle, it actually only drops about an inch every 10 seconds, something like that. So it's much slower. I haven't even looked that deep into the FSM, so I'm not sure if that's telling of anything. Also, as I showed in the video yesterday, I pumped back, 5 to 10 inches into the top of the EGR, and it stalled. And opening the filter on top of that modulator, it was very clean. I'm going to open this one as well. I remember cleaning this one with air, compressed air, so I might pick up the disc and turn it one more time just to see if there's a black spot. I don't know. There might be a lot of buildup because of rebuilding the engine and engine assembly lube and all that stuff. I'm not sure. I would doubt it, but other than that, I am not positive. So I'm looking into how to test all these things. I know one of them, you take off the modulator off the R port right here, and you put a T in it, a vacuum T with a vacuum gauge to measure, and you measure at 3,500 RPM, something like that. So I'm gonna do those tests next. I just wanted to come out and show that I'm trying, and that the vacuum routings appears to be proper. So I just wanted to share that just so that we can get that out of the way. If any of you guys, Scope or maybe Smog Check guy, if he checks in, see anything wrong that I have wrong, let me know. I have replaced this. This was a severely cracked vacuum port, or stopper, and then I put this one on the where the cruise control was. I removed that because it's just not functioning. So no point in even looking into that yet. I need to pass Smog. So these two are plugged, and then the VSV that goes to the fuel pressure regulator is plugged into the bottom one of this 3-port basket right here. So I was also kind of curious about this, if this has a little, I was seeing something in the FSM for the 88 which is different than the 87, and I saw something in there that had a filter in it. So I was curious if this VSV, where the VSV connects to, this 3-port unit, actually has a filter inside of it. So if anybody knows, you can let me know. That'd be great. Alright, that's it so far. I'm digging. I will hopefully find some news as quickly as possible. Thanks for checking in.